John Buhler.
My dad grew up in very, very humble beginnings. The poor people called them poor.
My best friend, his dad owned a John Deere dealership, and I would drive my bicycle down to his shop and sit on the tractor and dream about someday building a tractor. And people really thought I was nuts, but that was my dream. And so it took 50 years for that dream to be fulfilled.
Buhler had really two main lines. One is a short line, which is grain augers and front-end loaders and snow blowers. And the second part or line of business was the tractor. The four-wheel tractor, the big tractors going to horsepower 525 horse.
In my 12th year of school, I was still in grade 9. Give you a bit of an idea of my education. I was not a scholar, and that's as far as I went.
I know many CEOs who are graduate of Ivy League universities, which have maybe behind their name many initials behind their names, but his knowledge and insight really surpasses many of those CEOs.
And those who were so-called educated always learned from John. That was really the neat part.
I counted on him on many, many occasions to come out and speak to students about his entrepreneurship.
For the first 2 years of my married life, I drove a bicycle. I didn't have a car. I lived in a $45 a month rented basement suite. I knew what I wanted. I saved money towards that.
From manufacturing to the service industry to the farming to the canning industry.
He was able to manage a series of businesses, multiple brands all across North America in markets that were devastating to most manufacturers.
There was always a company in the crosshairs.
Every single day we should have about 10 potential acquisitions.
I don't think I ever bought a company that wasn't in financial trouble.
My dad would have the ability to see 3, 4, 6 years down the road and maybe see value where other people couldn't see it.
He and Bonnie are truly people who believe in giving back.
I think he's worked hard all his life, and he's tried to give to others, and I think it's important to give back to your community as well as work hard.
What I like about John and Bonnie's philanthropy is that it encompasses every aspect of the community.
Education or healthcare, as Gail was saying, or whether it's across the board, a sports center in Transcona.
And their generosity has really been transformational. By that I mean a lot of the projects that they've gotten involved with wouldn't have happened if it hadn't been for their involvement.
I had up to 1,000 employees at one time, so your company is run by managers. So I had some firm rules that would make it easier for them to manage.
He has the guts. He can take the tough decision.
Lease a truck or lease a building or whatever, but the minute you sign that lease, you have also signed your last paycheck.
John clearly has a reputation for running a very tight ship.
If a manager decides he needs to bring in a consultant, then I say, okay, we'll bring in the consultant, but you're no longer needed.
He doesn't tolerate fools lightly, so to speak, and you better be a hard worker.
You can never lose a cash discount. If you lose a cash discount, you also lose your job.
He's always been passionate about the cause.
In the last 10 years, we never had less than $1 million a year in cash discounts. Now that's found money, it goes right to the bottom line.
I'm sure he made many mistakes. Maybe he never admitted them, but he makes mistakes like everybody else. But again, is how you correct the mistake.
Profit is made by taking calculated risks, but nobody's going to take that calculated risk on your behalf. So you can tell somebody what you're planning on doing, and you can watch their reaction, but don't take their advice.
If you follow your heart and you work hard at the things that you enjoy and can give back to society when you can afford to do so, that's probably a good way to live your life.
It's very simple, and this is the beauty of John Buhler's legacy, that he's looking for something, how to make things better.
Always give personal guarantees to the bank. Like, who says things like that today? But I do, and I always did, because I believed in myself.
We are proud to welcome John Buhler to the Manitoba Manufacturers Hall of Fame.